Today we are going to look at dissection of a toad. You should understand a toad and a frog can be used interchangeably during dissection. Now, when you look at dissection of the toad, you are supposed to know its taxonomy, or we are supposed to classify it. Remember taxonomy, we are going to start with the kingdom. The kingdom for the toad is kingdom Animalia, and what could be the reason is that it possesses or it has limbs that are supposed to be used for locomotion. Then of course it has a mouth which is used for heterotrophic nutrition. Phylum is Chordata because the toad or the frog has what we call bilateral symmetry. That is, when you divide it you can get two mirror images. So if we try to section it like from head downwards, you can realize we can have one side with one eye, one eardrum, like that. So that's what we call bilateral symmetry. Then two, if you touch the head, you realize it has the skull which protects the brain. Then three, it has a backbone that can be felt when you touch the dorsal side. Class of the toad is amphibia. Now be careful not to call it amphibian. The class is called amphibia because the toad or the frog have moist skin. Then of course we see that it also has external eardrum together with also we have the nictitating membrane that is used during when the toad is in water, protects the eyeballs without interrupting vision. The order is Annula. Why? It has long prominent hind limbs and lacks the tail. Then we should know the habitat of the toad. The habitat of the toad is either moist or what we call damp land places. Then two, it can be water. Now we should know when does it use water and when do we find the toad on land. Now on land it will be the main habitat. However, it goes to water purposely for reproduction because eggs are laid and the males are going to fertilize the eggs, and after fertilizing them, then the tadpoles are going to develop within the water, and later adults are going to occupy land for moist land habitat. Now we should look at things like, if you try to observe the dorsal side of the toad, it is always dark to provide camouflage within the environment. Then too, it has dorsally positioned eyes that are going to enable a wide field of view for the toad so that it can escape from predation. Then it has muscularized hind limbs that generate a strong propulsive force for leaping. Then it has a moist skin that increases dissolution of gases for gaseous exchange. To favor this organism to stay in water, one, we can try to observe or to examine the hind limbs. The hind limbs, first of all, they are muscularized. Let me say they are muscular, and they have what you call, if you try to look at the toys for the hind limb, they are webbed so that they can be used for swimming. Then it also has the transparent nictitating membrane that is going to protect the eyeballs without interrupting continuity of vision when in water. Then also, if you look at the head tapers, that is anteriorly, front side, and is going to widen posteriorly, and this is going to reduce resistance during locomotion or when the animal is in water. One of the questions you may encounter, it may tell you to observe the structures located on the head of the specimen and describe their significance. Now first of all, if you are told to describe the head itself, if you try to describe the head as you can see this organism or this specimen, we can say that the head is directly attached to the rest of the body part. Let me say is directly attached to the trunk, that is the organism lacks the neck, doesn't have the neck, and The head tapers anteriorly and broadens posteriorly. Let me say, this is going to offer what you call a streamlined shape to the animal, enabling it to reduce resistance during locomotion. We can try to observe the eyes. The eyes are located onto the head. Now, when you're describing the eyes, you should be able to describe or to state their location stroke the position. The eyes are dorsolaterally positioned, large and bowed or protrude out, and have slightly removable upper eyelid and lower transparent nictitating membrane. Now, the significance of this is that they protrude outwards. That is, it enables the organism to quickly detect movement of objects. Then the nictitating membrane, it protects the eyeball without interrupting continuity of vision, especially when the organism is in water. Now, that is for the eyes. Another structure we can try to observe is the tympanic membrane, or what you call the eardrum. Now, the tympanic membrane, or what you call the eardrum, first of all, they are circular shaped, or you can say that disc shaped. Then they are membranous, and they are tightly stretched out to enable vibration on receiving sound waves. Eardrums are dorsolaterally positioned, and this one enables detection of vibrations from many directions. Now, if you try to look at the nostrils, or what we call the nares, the nostrils, they are paired oval shaped openings of small sizes, and this is to allow passage of respiratory gases. Description of the skin attachment to the body wall. Now, we should know that if you try to observe the specimen, the skin is firmly attached to the body wall at the limb joints and the throat region. But when you try to observe the abdominal region, the ventral side, the skin is loosely attached. And why is it loosely attached on the ventral abdominal region? The ventral abdominal region is that this enables fluid-filled spaces between the body wall and the inner surface of the skin, because remember, this organism can use the skin for respiration. Then the firm attachment holds the skin onto the body of the animal, and this is also going to reduce the diffusion distance, whereby the rate of diffusion will increase. Now, another thing we may realize